The Obidient movement grassroots mobilization efforts could significantly impact the 2023 elections, according to some, particularly by leveraging social media, community engagement, and volunteer networks. The movement has built a strong foundation. Also, the Obidient movement's strong online presence allows it to reach a wider audience, potentially influencing public opinion and voter behavior. Now, to discuss this, I'm joined by Ife Adekunle. He is a member of the Obidient movement. I also have in the studio Professor Sheyi Akinde, is the State Financial Secretary of the Labour Party for Lagos State. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having us.
All right, let me start by asking, before we move into matters as regards the Labour Party and the Obidient movement in detail. There's a wave of defection across opposition parties to the ruling party. Just recently, we saw that members from the People's Democratic Party, that's the governor of Delta State, jumped ship to the ruling APC. We've also seen members of your party, that's the Labour Party, Professor, leave the Labour Party and join the ruling party. As a party official, are you worried?
Yes, certainly. Thank you for having us, and good evening, Nigerians. Certainly, we're worried about the wave of defection happening because we're worried for one major reason, because Nigeria is moving towards a one-party system, which is dangerous for our democracy. For us in our own party, we are working to resolve the issues so that this party can be the alternative for Nigerians. Because democracy cannot survive under a one-party system. And this has not happened over the past 24 years, and it should not happen now. So that's the case for us. We would continue to do the work. Everybody has to come to the table. In our own party, there's a whole lot going on to see how we can close ranks, to make sure that this party is the only party that no single individual can lay claim to. Every other party, people can say, I am the owner, I registered it. But the Labour Party is the alternative right now. And we're working towards to make sure that this rank is being closed, and this platform will be the viable alternative for all Nigerians in 2027. Okay,
I think I should also direct the same question to Mr. Sheyi Adekunle. You're a member of the Ife Adekunle. Apologies for that.
Thank you.
You're a member of the Obidient movement, and he used the word. He said it's dangerous if Nigeria gravitates into a one-party state. Looking at the wave of defection we're seeing, some notable politicians jumping ship, to the ruling party. Does that concern you?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Certainly it concerns me and our movement. However, we are trying to strategize a way to get the youth. Because if you see the defections, all those people are seasoned politicians. They already have posts in different, circles, from governors, senators, House of Reps. But with the youth, the winged youth of the Obidient movement, we want to take charge, we want to take power. And we are, having discussion within each other. And if you check the voters' numbers, you see that the youth has a lot of numbers, millions of us. So what we are trying to do is using the power of social media, the power of community development, the power of engagement to gather the youth together with their voters' card, and we vote all these people in. So we are not concerned about this defection going here and there. We are not concerned about them in terms of their defection because we are not part of them. But certainly we are worried because they can influence us with their money and other things. But the youth are the major part of us now. We are trying to see how we can mobilize, and 2027, you see what will happen. In fact, in 1 or 2 months' time now, there's a local government election that's coming in Lagos State. We are working towards how we can shake them. So that will shake the local government election that is coming at the grassroots. Yeah. So that one we can show the signal to them that this Obidient movement with the Labour Party, we are serious. Especially the youth wing, we are serious to take charge, and we take back the government from all these politicians that I don't want to call their political affiliation. They are the same.
No, you can feel free to
No,
come.
they are the same. You can see that.
So is it okay to say that members of the Labour Party are the same with other political parties?
No, we are different. You can see what has come up in the last 6 months about how we are trying to restructure the party. So we are different and we are the alternative. And I enjoy the youth to see it as the alternative. And this is where we can move forward.
Okay. Well, I'll come back to you, Ife. Let me come back to Professor. Now, Professor, let's talk about the Labour Party. Some of the reasons for this defection, for instance, in the PDP, the reasons cited is internal party crisis. They're tired of the whole back and forth in terms of leadership ranks and all of that. And they want a party that is stable for their political agenda to find fruition. And then I come to the Labour Party now. We know that within the Labour Party, maybe I should start by asking, I've asked a lot of your members on this program, maybe you've seen videos. Is the Labour Party united?
Yes, the Labour Party is united.
How united?
Well, we are united towards a common goal. We have a common goal. And the goal is to rescue Nigeria.
How about its leadership? Is the leadership
yes,
united?
Its leadership, you know, anywhere where you see interest, at times there are crises like this because the party had a convention and a lot of people felt that it wasn't done well. And with the number of people who came into Labour Party pro to 2023 general election, wave of young people, entrepreneurs, business people who want to see Nigeria change. And after that election, a lot of people felt that the right thing should be done in terms of when it was time to vote leadership across the world, to the local government, to the state, and to the national. So some people felt, yes, it should have been much more better. But the truth about it is that we can all come back to the table because we have that opportunity now to correct whatever errors and build this party. Because, like I said, this is the only party that is the alternative for Nigerians. The APC, we've seen what they've done in 10 years. They've messed up this country. The PDP, we've seen what they've done. They seem to be tired. The new wave that accommodates the vision of the majority of young people that this country currently has is the Labour Party. Because its candidates and vision, it embodies the vision that we want to see. And that's the reason why you've seen the Obidient movement.
Do you think that within your party,
yes,
there are political moles? By political moles, I mean people planted in to come in, destabilize the party, make sure that the party, maybe at certain levels, mostly leadership level, doesn't seem to have cohesion. And then once their mission is done, they go back to their primary base. Yeah. Do you think there are moles within your party?
Yes, there are. There are a few hands that we've seen working in that direction. But you see, they know themselves. We know them. You see,
so what are you doing about
we know them. We are cutting their wings. I mean, with the movement, because the movement, the people.
It would be nice to know who the smalls are actually.
Yes, well, well, not to mention names, but we know them. But like I told you, we're already dealing with them because we've told people the Obidient movement have sunk into the party. And they are the people building the party. So those who are traditional, politicians who have been in the party before now, who felt that, oh, these people are coming in, they want to. No, we are here because we want Nigeria to work. And the essence of political parties is to win election. So if there's anybody who is playing the kind of game to make sure that Labour Party do not win election, or maybe we don't have candidates, because that's the game. The opposition would fund some people. They will destabilize the party, make sure that we don't have candidates, election will come, and the opposition will win. So we've discovered that, and we're dealing with that.
Can I just ask you a very point-blank question? What is the role of Alhaji Lamidi Apapa within the Labour Party?
Well, he's...
because he declared himself chairman after the Supreme Court ruling.
You see, all that is just politics.
So who's the chairman now?
Right now, you know, the judgment of the Supreme Court, which actually nullifies the election that actually brought in Julius Obure. And currently, right now, we're back to the drawing board. There are processes going on to close rank, to decide the direction of the party, so that, you know, everybody is well covered. Julius Obure, who was the chairman of the party, and other big wings, like the governor, Alex Oti, our leader, Excellency Peter Obi, and every other leaders in the party are trying to close rank so that we can build the party.
All right.
And I'm sure that is the position of a lot of people in the party.
I know that tomorrow you have a major conference happening in Lagos. We'll definitely get to that, and some notions as regards the the Obidient movement, which I would want you to address. We did put out word that we'll be having this conversation, and we got some reactions, which I would read out, and hopefully we'll trash it out once and for all. But let's go on a quick break. When we return, the conversation will definitely continue. Stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ and News Central Television. And of course, we're discussing the Obidient movement and the Labour Party, and also projections ahead of 2027 elections. Let me come to you, Mr. Adekunle.
Yes.
And before we started this conversation, we did put out word that this would be the context of our conversation. And then we got an interesting feedback, which I would like you to address, right? Permit me to read what the person said. He said, you talked about grassroots engagement, the Obidient movement being a force of change comprising of young persons. But what this person is saying is this, and I'd like you to address it. The Obidient movement is not a registered political party. Therefore, if the only credentials you're flaunting is being an Obidient, sorry, you are setting yourself up for another defeat and heartbreak. Only one credible opposition party exists in Nigeria today. The Labour Party. However, its leaders, question mark. So my question is this. The Obedience movement, for people watching who maybe don't even have an idea of what the vision is, what it's about, they only see engagements on social media, and maybe some of your members being really passionate when it comes to responding and hitting hard on political issues. What does it entail?
Thank you very much. You see, let me take a quote from our leader, Peter Obi. He said, the Obedient movement is bigger than a political party. Now, the person said Obedient movement is not a political party, etc., etc. Yes, but the Obedient movement, we are the movement that at the end of the day, by the time we gathered ourselves, we organize, we mobilize. Now we cannot give a structure so the youth and the elders too, and the other people that are interested to join the movement. And the movement is about change, about grassroots. So, and under this movement, everybody knows we are affiliated to Labour Party, but we are just a branch mobilizing each other now. Despite that, there's a little rank of Labour Party which they are working on, and in fact, I'm so happy that as at now, everything is sorted out. We just have to go through the process, and Labour Party will go through their Congress, and from there, we can now see how we can work way back inside the Labour Party, and before you know it, we can just, try and I can say we try and collapse everything. So the movement is just a struggle, just like other movements that you can hear around. Even before the emergencies of all these political parties, etc., you see that they have a movement, they have a structure. So the movement is a structure, and it's a bigger structure. So anybody that is saying all these things should try and see the way we are carrying ourselves. Like tomorrow now, they should come to Bamura and see how we are mobilizing, how we are trying to synthesize the youth in Lagos State. That's the conference of we the youth in Lagos State. For us and for the youth to know.
Talking about sensitization and the conference which you'll be having tomorrow, One, will I say, something that has been noticed with Nigeria's political or electoral system is the issue of voter education, voter enlightenment. Someone used the word, they said, unfortunately, poverty has been weaponized. So you find a situation whereby even when people know that, look, this candidate might not be the ideal for us, once money is given, their opinions changed. They've been able to use inducement, incitement, and all of that to win voters, even at the expense of their own conscience. So, I mean, you are talking about grassroots engagement, which you'll be having tomorrow. How do you hope to address issues of heavily monetized politics in Nigeria's system, for instance, where people during elections, I'm still also going to bring the question to you, Professor. You know, we saw it happen in Ondo, we saw it happen in Edo, in some other, recent elections, where the whole thing seems to be extremely monetized.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much for that question. When we are engaging ourselves, we realize that, and what we try to do is we take them back to history. All those places that money has been used to monetize or to induce people to vote, what is the outcome? That's the very question you ask. What is the outcome? Status quo remain the same. After they use you, they dump you. So now, that is the new information, and don't let them come and deceive you. Let us come together. By the time we come together and we educate ourselves, and I know that the youth now, everybody is on X, everybody is on social media. At least I can bet you that 50% of the youth has an Android phone. So we text 50%. Yes, 50% of the youth over 25 years has an Android phone. So from there we engage ourselves and we can tell them from the history, from what they've seen, that okay, these people will come after 4 years, after 3.5 years, they will give you rice, they will give you palliative, they will give you all those things. Does that bring job? Those are the questions we ask them, and we answer it ourselves, that what all those things, what does it bring to the table? Nothing. The unemployment rate is, going high. Everybody is suffering. We are tired of, promise and fail. So, and I believe now that the youth have seen it. In the last 20 years of the democracy, they've seen what is going on. And most of the youth, like me, I've seen the military regime, and I've seen the democracy regime, but most of the youth that were engaging, they didn't even know anything about the military regime. So now they're telling them that, see, this is what has happened in the military regime, this is what has happened now in the democracy, and we are here to change things.
All right. Yeah. Let me also ask you, Professor, I mean, your take on what I just said, the whole electoral process and the flaws we see on ground.
Yes. For the electoral process, I think between now and 2027, several bills are being moved to address the issue with INEC, which is, number one, has to do with the results, the use of the IRF, and the mandatory use of that technology, because over 400 billion naira of taxpayers' money was used to procure technology to take, and that was not just an effort of political party. There were civil society organizations, there are Nigerians who looked at the flaws in our election and saw how do we improve on the quality of our elections. And that was what led to those bills and the procurement of the IRF and that technology. Now, we've seen the flaws in 2023. We have to now build on that to block the loopholes. And also to come back to the issue of poverty and the weaponization of poverty as a tool to suppress the people and manipulate the people towards election. You see, within the past 2 years, Nigerians have seen a total shift. I mean, you see the hunger in the land, you've seen the suffering. And what we're trying to do with the conference of the Southwest Obidient Conference, is to begin the work, is to bring that reality to play, that we cannot continue in that direction, whereby people sell their rights, and at the end of the day, what happens? The same thing continues, the status quo, the same people who have been in politics since 2019 continues to manipulate. So that has to stop. And the education the grassroots sensitization, because that's where these things happen. So we're going to the grassroots.
All right. All right, thank you so much. I mean, I would have loved to extend this conversation, but this is the beat time will permit. Professor Seyi Akinde, thank you for your time, and also Mr. That's Ife Adekunle. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.